Hello Internet, welcome back to some Bazzle Spot Live. We're back here on Battle Spot. I've changed shirts to make it look like I'm recording this on a different day. I've plugged in my DS successfully and the capture card is still working, so it looks like we might be able to record some more. So let's continue battling and fingers crossed we find some good games. So Monday's video, or whenever that video goes up, it'll go up at some point. We had a couple of games, some close games actually. Salamence was an issue for us in the last game, missed the Electro Web, but we find someone from Mexico with a very custom avatar. But we see, okay, so Tornadus is interesting because Tornadus was like non-existent in 16, and it was used quite a lot in Sun and Moon because normal weather, it can rain dance and all the rest of it. But I still think it's a good Pokemon, but it's only really been seen with success on that Komodo team, hasn't it? But I don't know, it can roleplay, so it can still get the weather back up if it really has to. But Tabakoko looks like a good lead here, aside from the Ferrothorn and maybe the Xerneas. Again, I'm worried about that being a Scarf Tappet, which they all do seem to be Scarf these days, don't they? But I think he's gonna just try and Tailwind, so I'm gonna go with Blastoise and Coco. I do need Rayquaza and Xerneas here as well, though, but I'm just a bit worried about that Ferrothorn. So we'll go with these. Poor Scrafty hasn't. Actually, we've used the same 4 all games, haven't we? Scrafty and Volcarona have got their uses, but obviously not in the games that we've done so far. But yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like obviously I've not really played seriously this whole season. I did go to like Drew Regional, like the 2 that were in the UK regionals. I did go to Berlin as well too, but like it was kind of it was very obvious that I haven't played for a long time. I guess I literally threw games away in Berlin. I was very mad at myself just because I was mad because I knew that they were bad plays, and I was second guessing myself when I was making them as well, thinking you probably shouldn't be doing this, but I was doing them. But either way, we see so he just he's gonna try and Tailwind, didn't he? But what I'm gonna do here is let him Tailwind. So I can either fake out the Tornadus and probably just trade fake outs, or I can fake out the Incineroar, Electro Web, and then next turn he's already using his tails of his turn to Tailwind. He's trying to position himself better. So I'm actually going to go for a fake out into Incineroar and an Electro Web into both of his Pokemon there. Tornadus protects. Okay, so that plan didn't really go as I expected, but we'll see where the Incineroar moves now. No, okay, so it wasn't trying to fake out. It's probably just going to go for a U-turn. It's literally all Incineroar ever do, isn't it? U-turn. But now, surely he Tailwinds? I mean, he does need to hit my Blastoise because I'm threatening his Incineroar here. He doesn't really have any other candidates for a Hydro Vortex, so I'm tempted to literally just throw a Hydro Vortex out there to Incineroar. But then, if I knock out both of his Pokemon, he is in Tailwind with, Don't really want to just let him do that. So I think I am going to Hydro Vortex here, but I'm not going to knock out the Tornadus. I'm just going to Electro Web. Electro Web covers any switches as well for the Hydro Vortex. Yeah, so he is Tailwinding. He's losing his Incineroar here. Unless it is Assault Vested. But yeah, Tornadus takes half damage. Yeah, I could, assuming that that's a Z Tornadus and not like a Focus Sash Tornadus, I could have gone for this Hydro Vortex and a Wild Charge into the Tornadus as he Tailwinds, but then he brings in his Xerneas and he brings in his Kyogre, both in Tailwind, and I think he would have won the game from that position. So I'm opting not to knock his Tornadus out here. But we'll see how this goes for us. So he's bringing his Xerneas in. Okay. Does he attack or does he Geomancy? I've got Rayquaza Xerneas in the back. Because I'm thinking either I Roar the Xerneas expecting his Geomancies, or I Electro Web and Icy Wind. And that puts him back at neutral still. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to Icy Wind here. Because I don't think he has to Geomancy here. He doesn't have to at all. But he does. Okay. I'm not sure if a Z Flying knocks out Blastoise. I mean, if it does knock out Blastoise, it doesn't matter what I click there, does it? But we'll see, won't we, soon? So it is Z. So it will be from Hurricane. And this will be into Blastoise. So this Blastoise survives like Psychic Terrain, Modest Max Psychic from Lily. In terrain, I think I mentioned that. But this is a powerful move coming from a high special attack stat, but we survive it. Yeah, I knew it'd be close, and as long as we hit both these Electro Web and Icy Wind, we're not going to be in the worst of positions. Maybe. Yeah, so we hit them, but it's still got 2 turns of Tailwind, and I've got 2 Pokemon here that can't protect. And this is going to be the Kyogre coming in, isn't it? Oh, it says Tapu Lele. No Kyogre. Okay. How do I want to play this, then? Oh, this is tricky. Like, he just knocks both my Pokemon out here. And I can't... There's no point in me switching Tapu Koko, because when it comes back in, it can just Moonblast it and knock it out. So I think I just need to sacrifice both these Pokemon, protect on the last turn of Tailwind, and then hope. So Koko should be... Oh, it's in Tailwind, isn't he? Yeah, of course he isn't. Yeah. Whoops. I was going to say Koko should be faster because he's back at neutral, but yeah, of course he's still got a Tailwind. And here's the last turn of Tailwind that we're going to protect on. Because he does just... So I mean, I think we can assume that is a Scarfed Lele, because it did go for a... It was a Psychic, wasn't it, before his Xerneas moved? So maybe he doubles my Rayquaza here? Okay, so if I double protect here, it gets rid of Tailwind, I'm then forced to Dragon Ascent and Moonblast into the Xerneas to try and knock that out. I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna try and Geomancy. I think for him, Rayquaza is the bigger threat, and most Rayquaza are either choiced or assault vested these days. But he's just Psychic. Yeah, okay, he's got me. That's a shame. So I should have just done what I was saying all along, like I was saying in Berlin when I made all these stupid moves. Yeah, I mean, Maybe being a bit greedy there. Maybe that was unnecessary. Because, okay, let's say I protected. I've still got my Xerneas here. His Lele is scarfed. He would have still probably targeted my... who knows? I mean, I would have had to target... I would have had to double into his Xerneas, wouldn't I? To have any kind of chance. But if he'd protected on my double and... Yeah, okay, so if he protected on my double, then the 2 Psychics would have knocked out my Xerneas there, and he would have still won the game. But, yeah, so it definitely does go off top of the lane. So knowing it's a Scarf Lily, if I protected with both there, I could have gone for a Dragon Ascent into the Tapu Lily, which would have knocked it out, and tried to Geomancy. That would have actually been the much smarter play, and would have probably given me the game. So, there you go. If you ever find yourself in that exact position, then do that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so, I mean, like I was saying, I think, like I was trying to say before, this game, my brain really isn't working properly with VGC at the moment. Like, I have taken, like, a big chunk of the year out. Like, I've still got my invite, obviously, but just from small tournaments. Obviously, I'll try and de-rust and get smart for Worlds, but, yeah, maybe this is part of the process. Who knows? That I'll be using this team at Worlds as well too. But yeah, that was just silly of me, wasn't it? Really. So why didn't I protect my Xerneas there? I was trying to get cheeky. I was thinking that he might think I might be Assault Vested Rayquaza, or a Rayquaza that can't protect, as a decent amount of them can't, and just double into that with a Dazzling Gleam and Psychic. So if I protect, and if he does do that, then I get my Geomancy. I'll be faster because I got the speed drops on his, and next turn I would either... not sure that works either, actually. I'd either have to Moonblast the Lily to knock it out, or, again, try and do something else. But we found someone else with a higher rating, actually, so let's try and focus on this one. But yeah, I really should have protected there, shouldn't I? Just gone for like I was saying, just protect on the last turn of Tailwind, and then we'll try and go from there. If I had, he would have Psychicked into, let's say he Psychics into Xerneas. Xerneas goes down to like 40%. I Dragon Ascent into the Lele, knock it out. He Dazzling Gleams. But actually, then my Xerneas gets to move. Then I Geomancy, and maybe his Dazzling Gleam knocks out my Xerneas. I'm not sure it would at that point, because I would have the boost at that point there, and then I think I'd win the game. If he targets my Rayquaza, he breaks a Sash, I knock his Lele out, I Geomancy at full health, he Dazzling Gleams, and yeah, maybe he wins that way. Oh, who knows? But you know, let's try and focus on this now, because I hate losing and have to try and think about what I would have done otherwise. But let's try and not lose this one either. All right. I've given myself 15 minutes to think about what I'm actually gonna do. Yeah, I should have actually thought about this, shouldn't I? We'll go with these and see what happens. So, Kyogre, Xerneas, Salamence Bronzong, you're witnessing the de-rusting, hopefully. Coco into Nero. I think we're just going to have to trade fake outs here, aren't we? So I've got the faster fake out, but I have to fake out the Tapu Koko. And he doesn't have to fake out my Tapu Koko, but he should. So if we trade fake outs, what do we do from there? Next turn. Next turn there's options, but do I have to rely on a speed tie? See, this is the problem with this team. It just doesn't like switching. I mean, that's quite a common theme with a lot of my teams, though, really, to be honest, isn't it? But yeah, I really have forgotten how to play Pokemon. I shouldn't have led this. I'm not doing what I should do with this. And because of that, I'm going to try and risk a speed tie. Okay, well, we got that. And Incineroar should be going down. But I didn't bring Scrafty. I didn't bring Volcarona. And he's got Bronzong in the back, probably. So let's see what we can do. And I suppose his Koko is forced to target my Blastoise next turn. Wow, the Incineroar actually survives that. That's an Assault Vested Incineroar. That is a very Assault Vested Incineroar. Okay, so at least I know the item there as well now, but Blastoise is going to be eating an electric attack, isn't it? A Volt Switch, I'd imagine, into Bronzong, into Xerneas. So I'm going to put my own Xerneas in. I mean, ideally, he wins this speed tie and doesn't get to move. that would be, you know, the worst luck for him, wouldn't it? But we'll see. So we'll see the Sky Drop, and if his Koko doesn't move, then he won that speed tie. Yeah, okay. So I won both the speed ties, assuming it is a speed tie, and it was a Volt Switch into probably the Bronzong, and a U-turn into maybe the Koko again. Oh, he's just putting his own Xerneas in. I'm sure U-turn is like literally the only move Incineroar click. I'm so sick of playing Incineroar. Yeah, here we go. Back into back into Koko again. All right. Do I Geomancy? Can we make assumptions on the item of this Koko? Because we haven't seen it do anything yet, have we? Aside from Volt Switch. The Z move is either on the Koko or the Bronzong, and I doubt it's on the Bronzong. So I think he Z moves my Xerneas here. But I have to try and match his Geomancy. So I mean, I'm quite aware that I'm probably letting my Xerneas go down here. Yeah. Yeah. So as assumed, Z move from the Koko. And he will be Geomancing as well. So I won that speed tie as well. My Koko has been faster than his Koko 3 turns out of 3. does that mean I'm faster, or does that mean that it's just landed that way? So I'm going to put Blastoise in and lose. I'm going to hope that he protects with his Xerneas. He really shouldn't. But just on a fake out, I mean, what's he got to worry about there? Okay, maybe he is protecting then. Because, you know, if you don't protect, what is the worst that I can... Yeah, yes. If he doesn't protect, what's the worst that I can do? Fake out another Nature's Madness? I think that was a bit too cautious of him to protect there. Because Blastoise finally showing its last move. I guess roar it out. But we're still not in a brilliant position, obviously. Alright, Skydrop. My Coco is at -2 attack now, so I doubt the Skydrop knocks it out. No more Electric Train, so Blastoise might survive a Volt Switch. Maybe. But do I want to switch Blastoise into Rayquaza here? On a Volt Switch? Don't think I do. I think I'm just going to try an Icy Wind and Skydrop. Because if he Volt Switches and I do survive, yeah, if I survive, the Icy Wind probably... Oh, he's got Thunderbolt as well. That's a move you don't often see on... Oh, I survived anyway. Wow, without the Electric Train. Nice. Blastoise is a bulky little thing, isn't it? And yeah, the Icy Wind knocks out the Incineroar. Wow, I thought... Wow, so many things to unpack from that turn. Yeah, I thought, like, if I survived that, the Icy Wind would have finished off the Incineroar there, but you really don't see Thunderbolt very often on top of Coco. I suppose it has got Zed Electric, so it makes sense, but he has got Kyogre on his team, hasn't he? So, although he hasn't brought it against me. So, you know, most of them have Thunder in that position. But, yeah, Thunderbolt's just one of those moves you don't really see that much. He's probably just going to double attack you though, isn't he? Like, Xerneas obviously isn't going to try and set up. I don't want to bring Blastoise, bring Rayquaza in on anything. So I'm just going to try and Icy Wind, and Coco can't protect, although I wish it could here. And I'm going to Nature's Madness into his Coco, because that might put it in into Extreme Speed range. Oh. That's a shame. Oh, it's a Salamence. I should have tried to Skydrop again there, shouldn't I? Maybe. But now, Rayquaza comes in not intimidated. The Salamence just needs to knock out my Coco, and I think he's won. But I don't think his Xerneas has to protect here. But I'm just worried that it might. Because I think the Salamence just wins here either way. I'm going to attack into the Salamence. I might regret this. I can't stop him tailwinding if that's what he's trying to do, but he's maybe trying to sacrifice his Coco there. Well, not sacrifice it, but obviously doesn't want his Xerneas to go down. Is he tailwinding here? I mean, I think either way, he's won the game. Weakening my own Electro Web on his Salamence as well now. Not that it would have done too much damage either way. But I hope he goes for a Hyper Voice. If he goes for a Hyper Voice, then we're maybe still in this, but yeah, he's tailwinded. So we've seen Volt Switch and Thunderbolt on his Tapu Koko. It's probably got Protect, and it's probably got Dazzling Gleam. Does my Tapu Koko survive a Dazzling Gleam from there? Would an Extreme Speed knock out Tapu Koko from there? Like, if it's no bulk at all, Extreme Speed is looking very close on that Tapu Koko, actually. I think... I think we hope that we survive a Dazzling Gleam with Koko. Or a Thunderbolt, which, yeah, okay. He just needed to knock out my Tapu Koko there, and he was in the winning position. If Extreme Speed does knock out his Tapu Koko, we might still be okay. Assuming a Dragon Ascent knocks out the Xerneas from where it is, which it might not. Because if Extreme Speed does knock out Tapu Koko here, we can protect on the last turn. I've got my Focus Sash, you can protect on the last turn of Tailwind, and I'll have the Dragon Ascent into his Xerneas, but if you protect his Tapu Koko here, then it would always come down to if Extreme Speed knocks out his Koko or not. But we'll see right now, won't we? Well, we'll never know, will we? And he does Moonblast. So now it's going to come down to if Dragon Ascent knocks out his Xerneas. Which... well... just double check. Yeah, he's got one more turn of Tailwind. So obviously we'll protect here. He can't Geomancy. You know, he probably doesn't have Substitute. But this has been, I mean, this has been a closer game than it probably should have been, really. But yeah, I mean, the reason why I was saying that Extreme Speed was close on the Koko is because I know that at +2, because I got a Swords Dance, +2 Extreme Speed normally does get no bulk Koko. So the higher end of that damage roll is, you know, for without a Swords Dance, going to be around the 55, maybe 60% sort of mark, I guess. So that's why I was hoping that the Extreme Speed would knock it out. Still, if this is a bulky Xerneas, then it's won anyway. But we'll find out in a matter of seconds, won't we? Fingers crossed, people. Yay! We won a game that we probably shouldn't have. All right, well, that's a nice way to finish there. And if I finish this video quickly, it might be under 30 minutes. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope the capture card stays working, because if it does, I will record some more and upload them on the internet for you too. So enjoy. Goodbye for now. Bye.